our left, we've got defensive lineman Connor Christian and wide receiver Shaq Davidson. Coach, what's up?
All right, just good conference win. Glad to have been at home. Considering the next 4 out of 5s on the road, so it was a pretty day to play football. Good fall day, first kind of fall weather I think we've had, but felt like we played solid. Knew the game was going to last a while because they changed offense. They throw it around a lot, so I think they threw it like 61 times. I think we threw it 40, so there's over 100 throws in the game. So it lengthened the game for sure. I thought we played well. We got off to a good start, and felt like we kind of maybe relaxed a little bit. Both sides of the ball for sure. I think we got some stops early, and we played a lot of energy, and we took the first 2 down and put it in the end zone. It was out quick, 14-0, and then we kind of sputtered a little bit, but then we turned it back on in the second half, and I thought really dominated the game. And it was just good to see. Looking forward to rest of our conference play. Don't get any easier. You got to go to SEMO, long trip. Very physical team. They always are. They're in every game. They're gonna have a chance to win every game. You look at even the FBS games they played this year. Oregon State, they take them all the way into the fourth quarter. Had chances to win that game. So it's one of those deals where Austin Peay was up on 21 late. They scored 21 in the fourth quarter to beat them. So they're never out of the game. They're not gonna quit. They're well coached. And like I said, just play block tackle well, and they're a fundamental team. And it's a dangerous road game for sure.
John, I know you don't try to worry much about polls, but it's looking like you'll be in the top 5 again this week. And what does that say, I guess, in terms of how quickly you recovered from the first game, and about regard for the program, and then how you've played since then?
Well, I think we played a lot better, of course. We love to play that game again for sure, because we feel like we're a lot better. As teams improved, and it shows you that it don't matter. It's how your team progresses through the year. I think that A&T's probably dropped a couple games they probably should have won since then. And we definitely would love to play them again right now. Just feel like we're a more seasoned team and everything. But I do think we've recovered. We've done everything we're in control of, which is win every week, and and have some dominating performances. And you got to continue to do that. So it's we'd be sitting in really good shape. We wouldn't drop that one for sure. But had a little help, getting back up there, because you got some folks losing. This is a big weekend. Folks in front of us, dropping games. So that should put us in the top 5, which is kind of where we want to be. We don't pay a lot of attention to that. Pay attention to the next game, which is this week against SEMO, and it really don't matter where you're at poll-wise, you're gonna win this week. So that's the biggest game of the year right now. And like I said, we just want to give ourselves an opportunity to have that bye week laid, and looks like we're getting them doing everything we're in control of to get back in that position at the end when the selection committee goes back to select it.
Does it say something about how far the program's come the last 4 or 5 years, that it can bounce back like that?
I do. I think so. We've become a national contender. I think we're always in consideration for that. So I think you do climb back up quicker. And traditionally you're going to see the same type, same programs that are in the top 10, top 15 in the country, and you just battle to stay there. Like I said, it's just hard. College football. You look at the upsets across the country. I talk to our team about it all the time. You look at the upsets across the country. At any level, they're just there. You go, wow, how did that happen? You just got to get yourself ready to play every week, and you got to play 4 quarters. A team nowadays is never out of the game. So every game's got a life of its own. Every play's got a life of its own. So you just got to play every snap and just play your best, because you ever rely. And I felt like it happened to us a little bit Saturday. Felt like we got out the gate. We'll talk about this afternoon as a team. We got out to the gate really quick, and I think we kind of just relaxed, said, hey, it's gonna be like it was last week, and it don't happen that way. Everybody's got scholarship players, everybody's got good football players, everybody's well coached, and the guys are not gonna quit. They're gonna keep playing the game, so you gotta keep playing the game at a high level. And boy, if I had to answer that, I could help a lot of people across the country, because it's so easy to sit here and say that. Every coach around the country says it. Every team wants to do it. It's just hard to do. And like I said, I think every team's different with their chemistry, and how they prepare and how they get ready, but all those things are so important. And I think our guys do a really good job of that. I think they realize that. A long time ago, we kind of put to the side kind of who we was playing, and this is a big game, and this is what game's bigger than another? You hear people talk about rivalry games all the time, so they're all big, and it's all about how you play. And like I said, our guys are very bought into this how we play, and we know when we play really, really good, we're hard to beat. We can do some really good things, and when we don't play with that level, then we're not very good. So I mean that's every team across the country. So you got to find the chemistry, the button to push, and I tell them all the time they're responsible for it. As much as I'm responsible, they're responsible for it. And everybody's a part of that. And like I said, I think our program has been able to do that, but it's so hard to continue doing that week in, week out. And it's something you have to mentally, just be ready for.
Does it help to be able to look back on a day like Saturday where 3 of the top 6 teams went down?
There's no doubt, it really does. And our guys watch football. I mean, some of them don't watch it as much as what I want them to watch it, but you take and keep up with scores. Tennessee goes to Auburn and beats Auburn at Auburn. It shouldn't happen. Tennessee hasn't won a SEC game since 16, I think. So, it's upsets that happen. Army going to Oklahoma a couple weeks ago and almost wins a game. They just happen. Anybody can beat anybody nowadays. The parity across, just in our conference, you see it, but you see it across the country. Parity is really, really close. There's not a big gap at any level. I mean, the best FCS teams can go play other 5 or a Power 5 team and have a chance to win. It's not unheard of that they're not in the game. And it's kind of like, I say this by SEMO. They went and stood toe to toe with Arkansas State, which is a very good program, and had that game, within a touchdown in the fourth quarter. So it shows you how good a football team we're playing this week. So I think it's just saying it and doing it's 2 different things. And I talk to our guys all the time. Don't be a talker, be a doer. And there's a lot of people talk about a lot of things, but they'll never do anything. So that's the type guys we hope we got on our team, but we continue to be.
Shaq, last couple of games you've had pretty good games. You caught 4 balls Saturday, 2 the week before, and a touchdown. Anything different in the last 2 weeks for you?
I don't believe it was anything different. I believe you get my confidence back where it was, and quarterbacks are looking at me more since I'm getting my confidence back, and we're just on the road.
Coach, you've mentioned before that the receiver position is really deep, and you've mentioned Shaq before. Could you go over again?
There's no doubt, and I think Saturday, and sometimes playing receiver, the ball comes your way, and sometimes it don't come your way. We got a very unselfish group. Shaq, does a great job of blocking. When we run the ball, he does a good job of running routes. When you don't get the ball, and it kind of all works together. It's you can run great routes and not get the ball because the coverage didn't come to your side. Because a lot of times the coverage dictates where the quarterback goes with the ball. So you may play a game and catch 10 balls or 5 balls, and the next game next 2 games you may not catch a ball because coverage dictates a lot, and the timing and where you're at on the field and all those things. So very few of our plays that we go out and say, hey, we're throwing the ball to Shaq this play. It just don't work that way. And like I said, those guys have been very unselfish, and Shaq is like that. It's just been fun to watch his process. He's had some injuries through his career, and he's just a guy that, he nice Connor. He shows up and does his job every day. He's a joy to be around. One of my favorite, things is a couple of weeks ago, he comes out to practice and he got his knee brace on. And he got to show me, Coach, hey, he got that knee brace on. So he has got that confidence back. You go, through some of the major injuries he's been through, it's tough to get back from them. And, he's had some, soft tissue stuff going on with that. There's a lot of things that are connected to your knee that it affects, and like I said, he's just battled it. He's got back on the field. He's playing at a high level right now. He's probably got the strongest hands, on our football team. You get that ball around him, he catches it. So our quarterbacks don't mind throwing it to him. He's more than a possession receiver too. He still has the speed, to beat you over the top as well. So he just does a good job of running routes, and maneuvering his body and getting his hands on the ball and then catching the ball.
Shaq, I know when I ask some of the other receivers about the depth position and guys they look up to, you're always first that they mention. Is that an effort you made to be a leader now that you're a senior?
It's definitely, I definitely try to set myself at the top by like being a leader, like by just doing. And I feel like the guys look up to me because I've made some plays, but also when they make plays, I congratulate them. And I push them to be the best they can be, not only myself being the best I can be.
Is that what you see?
He's a great example of a doer. I mean, listen, ain't no bells and whistles about doing hard work. There's not, and a lot of people don't like to work hard. And I think we got a team full of guys like that. But Shaq is a great example of that. He don't talk a lot. He's not a hype guy that talk, and a lot of people think that's working. We're not about, like in pregame warm-ups, we're not about getting out there and creating energy by dancing around and hype talking and doing a lot of talking and all that stuff. Shaq just goes to work every day. He goes out there and he works as hard as he can work, and keeps himself on the field by taking care of his body and all those things. And he just does. And he's a selfless guy. And when you do that, people recognize that. And you don't have to talk about it. Hey, I'm a leader or whatever. You lead by example. You lead by doing. And he just does a great job of that. People respect that. And I think that's why he's so real respected on our team, is just how he does his job. And he don't talk about it, he does it.
John, how are Josh and Traco?
I ain't got the doctor's reports yet. Let's see. I really don't know. I think everybody will be back on the field this week. I don't see anybody that will be on the field. I think Zorro may be the closest that we'll see about. Since I come in here, I hadn't seen docs come on Monday. I hadn't heard anything, but I think everybody will be back, I believe.
What was Traco's injury?
I think he just got rattled, kind of like a whiplash deal. So I mean, everything checked out in the hospital that day, so I think he'll be fine. He's just a little sore,
Connor, sorry, I don't want you to think we forgot about you.
You good?
You had another good game rushing the passer, and I'm not sure if you ever looked at these notes that spell out your stats. Last 10 games, going back to last year, you have 7.5 sacks. It seems like you spend as much time in the backfield as the quarterback. Could you talk about what you do to be an effective pass rusher?
My Coach Green preaches to me that my job is to get to the quarterback. So every game I'm working on get-offs, I'm working on getting hands off on me, and pretty much just I gotta live in the backfield. Every practice I gotta get on get-offs. I go against all the guards. Whenever we do one-on-ones, I try to get all the reps when I can. So if I'm good at pass rushing, then maybe that create possibilities for my other guys to get sacks. If I get the quarterback to roll inside out, then the defensive ends will get sacks. I mean, it's just not up to me making the plays, but as long as the whole defensive line making plays, and that's what matters the most. So.
Coach, what do you see from him as a pass rusher?
Well, I mean, he's dynamic. He uses his hands well. Usually pass rushers are able to use their hands very well. Connor uses his hands very well, and he's got great feet. And he's got great quickness and strength too. So I mean, he's in that shoulder surgery didn't slow him down. He had shoulder surgery in all season, and he came through that, and I think he's even gotten better than what he was last year. And he's always been just an effort guy, and defense starts with effort, and I think he's this over the top, extreme effort guy. Always has been. He's just always been that type of guy on our team that plays with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and effort. And when you talk about pass rushing, that's what it takes to get to the quarterback. Along with the skills. I mean, I think tell you, Coach Green got coached up on how they use their hands, where they put their body at, and what to do when, and all those things. But he's a technician. I mean, I think he pays attention, watches a lot of film. He'll watch those guards and centers he's going against, and kind of sees their pass set and sees how they try to get their hands on you. And he does a good job of combating that with the techniques he uses.
For both guys, the stats came out yesterday, and offense and defense, total defense, are ranked second in the nation. How does that help Monday through Thursday, knowing that you get to go against one of the best? Connor, you against one of the best offenses in the country, and Shaq, you get to go against one of the best defenses in the country. How does that prepare you for game day?
I feel like every day we come out and get better, no matter where we're at in the polls. Me personally, I feel like we got the best defense in the nation, and I feel like they do a good job of competing, making us better each and every day.
DBs don't hold you into the Shaq.
Oh man.
Going against our offensive line, the second string, no second strings from guys that rotate in. It's really hard. You really get good looks every snap of practice. When you realize, like, wow, this is really the best offensive line, not just in the OVC, but obviously in the nation too. And you go against the other teams, like we just went against Eastern Illinois. You don't get the same type of look. It's almost like the game slows down because our offense moves so fast and so quick. You get opportunities to work on your craft and just make yourself better every day at practice.
Coach Strauss, how often do you allow ones go against one? Right.
We do a lot in camp, and sometimes in a bye week we'll do it. To be honest with you, this year we've probably done less ones on ones than we ever have because our twos are ones. I mean, we went a lot of ones on twos. Usually, historically here, we went ones on ones a lot. Our competition deal, but we win a lot of ones on twos. It's kind of paid off. I think it's made our twos better, and I think we're deeper. I mean, our like I said, if you're in our two deep, we consider you a starter. So, we feel like we ain't got 22 starters, we got 44 starters. So, like I said, I think it's helped him. Like we're playing a lot of young guys up front, offensively. We're a little older, defensively, at those positions at the down four guys, and play a lot of older guys. But it's helped those younger guys come on. We've been banged up a little up front, so it's helped a guy like Butler and all those guys to go. Those freshmen, redshirt freshmen, Shaddix, all those guys. It's helped them so much to go against guys like Connor, because it's made them better in practice. And we compete a lot. We do go a lot of good on good stuff. Which I call it game speed, and our guys know, we're gonna do blitz, and it's gonna be good on good. We're gonna do inside drill. We're gonna do tempo, every day. The in practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday during the season. So you're gonna get enough game speed stuff during the week that you're gonna get that work in, and I think that helps us. A lot of people don't do that, during the week, but we do. And like I said, I think, like Connor said, it just makes you better.
Connor, is that the best part of practice?
The best part of practice would have to be the inside. The inside and one-on-one pass rush. The inside, you really get to get into the trenches. It's more about the up-front guys, the D-line, the offensive line. I mean, you can get a good looks from your linebackers and running backs, but if you want to make your offensive line, defensive line good, that's where you get your one-on-one battles right there.
I still say the best part of practice is popsicles.
He wasn't gonna say that.
Coach Green tries to keep my position group away from the popsicles.
They do stink though against the popsicles.